Whoopi Goldberg said Pete Hegseth clearly does not know anything about the military. What? This is someone, Hegseth served in the military, and someone that never served in the military. Whoopi Goldberg saying that they don't know anything about the military. She is disgusting. I can't stand Whoopi Goldberg. She is disgusting. Her and her views is just outrageous. She's attacking this man because he's making common sense statement. He made a common sense statement in the past about women serving in the military. He basically said you shouldn't lower the standards. You should keep the standards the same. If there's a woman that can meet these standards, that's fine, but you shouldn't lower the standards just so you can accept women in service. Because you have to be able, like, imagine you have to be able to pick up and drag someone off the battlefield and things like that. If you got a woman that can't lift and can't do that, why would you put her in harm's way? Why would you put her in why would you have her fighting? Because I mean she can't perform like everyone else. It's common sense. And I've been saying time and time again, the left has absolutely no common sense. So we're gonna talk a little bit about it. We're gonna play the video clip, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Slay News from the great Frank Bergman. And he reports that um, Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts on The View have launched a new smear attack against Pete Hegseth after the decorated combat veteran was selected as President Donald Trump's incoming Secretary of Defense. On Wednesday broadcast of the controversial ABC News propaganda show, Goldberg falsely claimed that Hegseth knows nothing about the military. Now, this is a decorated military veteran, don't know anything about the military. She knows more than him, I guess, right? Someone who never ever served in the military. The panel aired a clip of Hegseth opposing women fighting in combat and criticizing the military's lowering of standards regarding who can serve, though he clarified that he respects women service members. According to his personal website, Hegseth served in the Army in Iraq and Afghanistan and in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where he was commissioned as an infantry officer in the Army National Guard. He had risen to the rank of major and has received multiple awards for his service, including 2 Bronze Stars. So this is a Bronze Star veteran, and they telling this man he don't know anything about the military. Disgusting, disgusting. Hegseth also previously served as the executive director of Vets for Freedom and Concerned Veterans for America. Quote, so is this the guy who's qualified to make decisions about the most powerful military in the world, who clearly does not know anything about the military, Goldberg said. I mean, just disgusting, just disgusting. Let's play this clip here. Here we go.
No.
Why not?
I love women service members who contribute amazingly because everything about men and women serving together makes the situation more complicated, and complication in combat means casualties are worse. I'm okay with the idea that you maintain the standards where they are for everybody. And if there's some, hard charging female that meets that standard, great, cool, join the infantry battalion.
I agree.
But that is not what's happened.
Yeah.
What has happened is the standards have lowered.
That's true.
That's not true. So is this the guy who's...
Did she just say that's not true? This guy is in the military. They have lowered the standards to because women wasn't meeting the standards, so they lowered the standards. That is an absolute fact. What does she talk? They just loves telling people that that's not true, something they don't know anything about.
who's qualified to make decisions about the most powerful military in the world, who clearly does not know anything about the military.
You know, and also I feel insulted. I'm a morning TV host, and I've been here the longest.
Yes.
Where's my ambassadorship to Italy, Donald? Was it something I said?
Beyond what he's saying just about women, the scary part is the Secretary of Defense is the highest ranking member
of the federal cabinet, and there is a budget of $841 billion. It's the largest government agency. It operates 4,800 sites in over 160 countries, and as someone who right now, we stand here with a country that has a lot of turmoil in the Middle East, in Russia and Ukraine, even in Asia with China, it makes me more than a little worried that you're picking someone who has, he served for 5 or 6 years. He was mid-ranking, never has worked in the government.
Hold on. She said he was mid-rank. This man was a major. He got 2 Bronze Stars. They just making this stuff up. It's not based in reality. They're lying to their viewers. These people have no idea that these women are lying to them.
Government, and you can say the government's bureaucratic and get an outside person that's going to clean it up, but it hasn't been cleaned up yet, and therefore you have to understand the place you're going into to operate it at its most efficient capacity. So it's alarming.
That was what stood out to me. And by the way, I was rooting for Senator Joni Ernst, who's a female combat veteran, to be Secretary of DOD. But my issue here is, listen, he served his country admirably. I'm grateful to Pete Hegseth for his service, but he has no policy-making experience and no Pentagon experience. And by all accounts, the reason that Donald Trump chose him is because he wants a disruptor who's going to help implement his agenda. That's technically his right as incoming commander-in-chief. The problem is much more qualified people have gone into that role to disrupt the Pentagon, make it more streamlined, less bureaucratic, and they've never succeeded. They've ended up being outmaneuvered by 4-star generals and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So even from Donald Trump's own intent and purpose with this guy, I think that he's going to spend weeks just trying to navigate the Pentagon. It is 1 mile around.
Yeah, it's huge.
It is a huge. I worked there as a Pentagon spokeswoman. There are 3 million people that will be under him on day one. The entire U.S. Armed Forces, the entire civilian population that reports to them. It is the most complex and by design bureaucratic agency in government, because it shouldn't be as simple as signing something and then we're going to war. It should go through multiple rungs. And I don't see any evidence that he deeply understands the role of the Secretary of Defense. And I would also argue it's the second most important position in government after the President of the United States. You need a cool head with the experience to do the job, and I don't think he has.
All I heard was that women can't be in combat. Again, another sort of...
That's not what he said.
Down.
See, and these are the same people that they say they basically try to say this man isn't qualified. But yet these the same people that believe Kamala Harris was qualified to run the entire country. Come on. At least this guy has experience in the military. He has Bronze Stars. He was a major. So what are they talking about? What are they talking about right now? And then he didn't say he was talking about lowering the standards. Women that can't meet the standards, so they lowered the standards. It's not right for anyone. You can't fight with the lower standards. These standards were set, were created on purpose because you have to be able to complete these tasks, certain tasks in the field. If you can't complete these minimum standards, you shouldn't be able to be in the military. It's straight up like that. But Goldberg wasn't alone in her baseless smears against Hegseth, however. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren took to X to attack Trump's latest administration pick after the news broke on Tuesday. However, the move immediately backfired when she was schooled about her ignorance of Hegseth's military career and Ivy League education. Trump announced that he had tapped Hegseth to serve as his Secretary of Defense in a Tuesday evening statement on Truth Social. In the statement, Trump praised Hegseth's military experience. Quote, Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country, the statement reads. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. With Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down. The upcoming defense secretary previously served as the head of the Concerned Veterans for America and has praised Trump for fighting on behalf of Chief Petty Officer Edward Gallagher in 2019. Gallagher was acquitted of serious war crimes charged in Iraq. If memory serves, that might have been the man that beat up I think he beat up or killed a kid that was being sexually abused, I believe, if memory serves. But Trump also praised Hegseth's book, The War on Warriors Behind the Betrayal of the Men Who Keeps Us Free. The book delved into, quote, the deep roots of our dysfunction that has led to the cultural chaos and weakness that has reportedly developed in the military. He literally wrote a book about it. So well, come on, y'all. See, this is what happens when you have people, you have cackling hens not knowing what the hell they're talking about. But in his statement announcing Hegseth's appointment, Trump said the book, quote, reveals the left-wing betrayal of our warriors and how we must return our military to meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. And I agree with all those things. Hegseth joined Fox News in 2014 and is currently a co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend. He earned 2 Bronze Stars and a Combat Infantryman badge in honor of his service. As part of his plan to take on the deep state and gut federal bureaucracy, Trump intends to fire woke Pentagon officials. Trump also will slash funding, decrease the number of generals, and roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) efforts that seek to recruit more transgender soldiers. A think tank aligned with Trump, the American First Policy Institute, released an outline to, quote, eliminate non-military issues such as climate change and democracy promotion from military doctrine and defense policies. And I'm all for it. And like I said, these women don't know what the hell they talking about, squawking about this man that's really going to come in and clean things up. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.